So first of all, I'm Seth with According to Seth. Congrats on all the success here with the show. I absolutely loved it. I finished it last night actually.
Oh, cool.
Um, so with the show and it being Halloween, I wanted to start this thing off and ask you, what is your favorite horror film?
Okay. I have a lot of, I get really, really anxious with horror films.
Yes.
I think Halloween, it's just is always there with me. It's just, and it's also too scary to watch.
Hmm.
Um, there's also the Atomic Monsters series with the three of them with the Christian thing. Oh my God, I put them out of my mind so quickly because they scare the Jesus out of me.
So
I have.
how?
Go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna
No,
say,
how
how does
about
that like when you're filming a scary show? If you're
hmm.
scared of the movies, how does that kind of like translate? I know it's a little bit different.
It's viewers. As a viewer, you're scared.
Mhm.
And certainly the actor can be in a situation where it's a crucible moment, and it's something awful has just happened, but it's not scary. It's just a matter of you're living moment to moment. The emotions come later after you've um, had the thing happen. It's like being in a car accident. You're not scared right away. You're just kind of like, what just happened? Oh my God, this is happening. This. You're kind of working in the moment. So it's really different as the character and looking from the outside. It's always scarier from the outside.
Was there a moment when you were filming this? Because the practical effects were amazing, and some of like the stuff that happens to the characters were terrifying. So, was there a moment on set that actually did scare you? Did you see any of that stuff?
Um, no, honestly, no, it was very safe set. No, there was never scary stuff. It was because it's all imagination.
Hmm.
When the special effects come in afterwards, which they do so incredibly well. Some of it is makeup that they do with some of the special effects is makeup, and that's just brilliant material. That's more about like gawking at it, thinking how can they be so artistic? How can they be that good? So that's less scary. But no, honestly, it was a very safe set. Always, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
It seemed like it would have been like a blast to absolutely film this thing.
Oh, absolutely. Dead on. It was such a blast. We had, and I know a lot of actors are told, say you had a good time, say you had a good time. This one really was. It was so lovely. And I think that is because from top down, when the producers are good people and they care about the project and everyone has a great time. And I mean, honestly, everybody, there's none of us on this entire cast and crew who wouldn't jump at a chance to do this again. We all had such a good time.
I hope you guys do. I mean, there's hints at season two. Can you give us any like? Do you know if there is going to be one, or can you tell us where you think your character could go?
Oh gosh, we could go anywhere with my character. I mean, could look at the changes that he does. I mean, we never know. We see Donald first as this kind of rough and gruff guy who's going to solve it. He's going to be a man's man, and suddenly he's put in a situation where all of his artifice is gone, and he's stuck with. We find out, oh my gosh, he's got a heart.
Hmm.
Actually, a pretty interesting guy because he's not what we thought he is, and so I don't know where he's going to go, and I'm not being evasive. I really
Yeah.
don't know. I just trust Ian's writing, but I would love to see where it goes.
Yeah. And I know you were talking about how great the set was. So was there a favorite moment on set when filming this project?
Oh, every day I had so much fun. I had so much fun because it was so enjoyable as an actor to mine this stuff. And by mining it, I don't mean like, oh, I'm working so hard as an actor. It was really about just being present and being allowed because the writing was so good, because we're allowed to have this seclusion to do this stuff with this amazing uh, crew. I mean, truly amazing creatives on crew as well. So I had a really enjoyable time with Yvonne. Yvonne and I had some really great little scenes together, very understated, very low key, but there was a lot of interpersonal stuff going on just
Hmm.
as two characters. Not that there was a relationship necessarily, but you just see these kind of people filtering out and suddenly they're rising up out of situations that we didn't know that they were. We didn't know who they were. And that was a lovely moment I remember.
And I loved all of your guys' character arcs, and Yvonne's was great too. I mean, seeing her turn into this powerful, badass woman was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
when you got the script, what were your like first initial thoughts? What was it that really drew you to this project and excited you?
The writing. I'll tell you, I got the script. I opened it up. I got 10 pages in. I called my wife. I said, come here, you have to read this. 10 pages, just 10 pages. We both were like, oh my God. Oh my God. And my character, as you may remember, doesn't come into the very end of the first episode.
Hmm.
I didn't see my character yet. I had no idea. I just knew that I had to do this series because the writing, Ian's writing is so good because it's clear, it's it's recognizable, it's complex within the simplicity of lines. Oh, that's good writing. And think about it. One of the guys who reviewed it recently was Stephen King.
Hmm.
Loved it. That's
Yeah.
pretty great because he's an amazing writer and he recognized great writing being done properly on film. So that's why. That's honestly, that's the only answer I can give because the writing was just so amazing.
I know, and I'm sure it was difficult for, Ian to come in and like pull this from a book and kind of adapt it and change it. And what turned out was honestly incredible, and it kept me on the edge of my seat every episode. And I love that it was 30-minute episodes too, and it wasn't just, thrown out all at once.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's like reading a good book and then having to go to sleep. Put the lights
Ex-
out.
Exactly. I know you said some of it was virtual or the effects were added in after the fact, like after the fact.
Mhm.
But your like range of emotions, especially at the end of episode 2, with what happens. I don't want to get into spoilers, but with what happens to your significant other, like how do you as an actor kind of try to portray that emotion if you're not seeing it happen in front of you, like it's added in after the fact?
Mm, mm. I guess you just, I don't mean just, but you use your own experiences, even though I'm not thinking of the deaths in my own life or the losses. We all have loss. We all are
Hmm.
going to die at some point. And how we feel in those moments, you start to recognize, you don't realize it. You're not cognizant of it as an actor. At least you shouldn't be because you're playing someone else. You're play pretending. And that comes up. And if you follow the moment to moment gift you've been given by the writer, and with such a good writer, it doesn't take much. You're just there watching a, a loss, and it has already happened. So now you have time to process it. Even while it's being processed, you're still not sure what just happened. How did it happen? Is this really real? It's all that stuff you start. Don't let the mind roam and roll, and so the emotions really come after the attempt to think through what's happening. But if you just play the emotions, it becomes kind of clunky and not so full.
Yeah.
It's much more full emotional life from an audience perspective if we watch the thoughts happening and pricking the pins at the emotions.
That's awesome. And I know obviously in the film you have some people become assassin. There's a harbinger. Were you ever told who was the assassin throughout filming? Did you know, or was it kind of a surprise as filming went on and you found out who was who?
No, we all knew it's, and you again, you just play moment to moment as you're given in the script of what happened to this person. Where'd that person go? What's that person saying? What? Huh? Ooh, ooh, that's weird. It's that kind of stuff. So it's not, you're still acting from a script. So and then you put the script away and you just live moment to moment on set.
I know, I mean, you have such an amazing career. I've seen most of your stuff. And with this being a TV show, another TV show, was there anything that you learned about yourself doing this series or something that you can take for future roles?
Oh, yeah, I will. Yes, because of his writing, because of Ian's writing and the character, he helped me tap into a softness that I don't think I've had as much of in much of a chance to play in my career. A softness in a character, which is so interesting because the first part of Donald that we see is this stiff hardness, You don't know that there's that soft hardness. So I think, yeah, oh, what a great question.
Thank
But
you.
and that's I would take that with me. Yeah, Ian helped me find another layer of that. Oh, what a great question. Thank you.
Of course, that's awesome. Is there anything that you want people to know about, like about your character going into this, who might just be starting? For any of my listeners, something that you really want them to take away from him?
Um, Probably be careful not to judge someone too quickly. You never know what's there.
And last question I have here for you. Um, so I use movies and shows as a way to connect with people. I think it's a great way to kind of like bridge the gap and help somebody understand you better. So is there a movie or show that you always recommend to somebody as a way for them to get to know you as a person better?
Oh, gosh, I do the same thing. Yes. And here's a couple. Uh, Gandhi, Being There, Fight Club, and Fincher's other one, where it goes back in time. What's that called? It's a longer.
Was it Once Upon a Time? I think,
No,
or
it's Brad Pitt,
Remembering Time?
where he's born as an old man, and
Oh,
through,
with Brad Pitt.
yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Okay, all those together,
Those
all
are
those
all.
together in a group. If I were to answer like that, okay, here's my life in a film. This is what I like. This is how I see life. It's funny you do that. Yeah,
That's
I've done it before.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, movies and shows have
Benjamin
always
Button.
that's
Benjamin
what it
Button.
is.
Yeah. So much so that I wrote a letter to Fincher about that when I saw that for the first time. I wrote him a letter.
Oh, that's actually amazing. Did he respond? What did he say?
Well, we had just worked together not too long, a few months before that, and I just said, "You've changed my life. You've changed my life. You and I forget who the lovely writer is, also." Um, yeah, and he said, "No, well, thank you for that," but he said some other accolades. But anyway, yeah.
That's so awesome. It's cool. I never realized this until I started, doing interviews and things like this, but everyone is kind of like a nerd about film and they just want to talk about those kinds of things. So it's cool, when you hear stories like that where, people reach out to other writers or other directors and they're like, "Oh, well, thank you for, seeing this." And I think that's just such an awesome thing that, isn't highlighted enough in the industry.
Yeah, I've been hesitant to write to Ian because I know he's been really busy because it's all post production right now. But I just love Ian. What an amazing soul and writer and artist, and because I want to keep in contact with him, and hopefully we have more seasons. But yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, supposedly I might be talking to him next week and I'm really, really excited for that to pick
Oh,
his
great.
brain. So
He's funny, 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 funny.
I think Juliana, I don't know how much time we have left, but go ahead. Sorry. I think Juliana say.
Hi, yes. Yeah, no, you have like about a minute left if you want to ask a final question.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I wasn't sure because
No, you're good.
okay. Um, so I guess then another last question here for you, and I'll edit all this out. Um, do you have any other upcoming projects? Anything that you want to highlight? Anything you're really excited about?
Not yet, not at the moment. No, nothing's solidified. I've had a couple auditions, some really interesting ones. But I love auditions because they're a way to work and a way to grow and always just practice the art. But nothing's been solidified yet. No.
Maybe Ian will come back with something else for you here soon.
Come on, in a
Well,
heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
we'll tell him. Thank you so much for your time today. It was honestly a pleasure getting to speak to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning. And congrats again on Teacup.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Pleasure talking to you.